जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद Hare Krishna. I humbly seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavis attending today's class. Please forgive me for taking this boldness to speak about the Siksastakam. Karnaradhika Mataji request ni తీసుకుని అది ఒక ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ గా భావించి to read and understand and hear the Siksastakam. This is an arrangement made specially by Mahaprabhu for me, by Nityananda Prabhu for me, by Guru Maharaj for me, and Bhavinchi. I am doing this service. Definitely, every day there's a clear realization that I am not qualified to be talking on Sri Shikshashtakam, but as an opportunity for purification and further realization, I offer this service. Any discrepancies, kindly forgive me. So last week we were discussing about what is Shreya. So Prabhuji, Haripashit Prabhu was quoting that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave more than 60 meanings of the Atma Rama verse. Why did he give so many meanings? Because the devotee is not satisfied or doesn't compromise with one or two meanings. For every word in the Atma Rama verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took various dictionary meanings, and with permutations and combinations of the various meanings of each words, he gave more than 60 meanings to the Atma Rama verse. How Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantya Purukrame Kurvantya Haitukim Bhakti Ittam Bhuta Gunohari. The divine qualities of Sri Hari are as such that an Atma Rama will also worship him. An Atma Rama will also want to sing about him. So, based on the various meanings of Atma Rama, like anybody, so whichever type of Atma Rama a devotee is, he is anyway attracted by the gunas of Lord Hari. That is how Mahaprabhu explains that. So, taking that as inspiration, last time we have seen that the meaning of Shreyas from the Medhini dictionary. Medhini and Amarakosha are two famous Sanskrit dictionaries. Prabhuji has quoted some meanings of the word Shreyas from the Medhini dictionary. So, Shreyo Muktau Shubhe Dharmeti Prashastacha Vachavat. So, Shreya is used in the sense of liberation, auspiciousness, uplifting duty, dharma, and also anything very excellent, Ati Prashasta, Mukti, Shubha, Dharma, and Ati Prashasta. So, in all these contexts, how Sri Krishna Sankirtana, the moonlight diffusion of Sri Krishna Sankirtana is causing the Shreya Kairava, the night water lily of liberation to bloom, of auspiciousness to bloom, of all religiosity to bloom, and also of anything excellent to bloom. We have discussed in the last part of our class last time. So anything becomes excellent by adding Sankirtana to it. So, whenever Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is added to the Varnashrama, it becomes Daivi Varnashrama, right? So the excellence is enhanced by Sri Krishna Sankirtana, when the moonlight of Sri Krishna Sankirtana diffuses. That is what we discussed last week in the end. So today we are going to see we will start with saying what the Bhagavatam says about Shreya. What according to the Bhagavatam is Shreya. The six sages, the six questions asked by the sages of Naimisharanya to Saunaka and the sages to Sutta Goswami. The first set of six questions talk about Shreya. See, 119. Tatra tatraanjasayushman bhavata yadvinishchitam pumsamekan tata shreyaha tanna samshritumarhasi. So the context is the sages are all assembled at Naimisharanya and they're asking six questions. And they're telling what is Shreyas for all people. What is that one Ekantata Shreyas? What is that one single Shreya for everybody? Please let us know. So then In gradually we understand that ahaituki apratihata bhakti is the ekantata shreya. That is how Suta Goswami answers that question. So according to Bhagavatam, the highest shreya is ekantata bhakti to the Purushottama, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, there are also various kinds of Shreya for depending upon the stage, or depending upon the place where the living entity is in his spiritual journey. There are various kinds of Shreya explained. Various people have various intelligences. So, depending upon their intelligences, many people quote different things as Shreya. So, we are going to look at verse 11, 14, 9. Purusha Manmaya Mohita Diyaha. Why do different people quote different things as Shreya? The Lord tells Uddhava that because people have different intelligence. Everybody is at a different platform in their spiritual path. So he doesn't say anybody is not on the spiritual path. Krishna considers everybody is on the way back to him. So some are coming from non-material to from material to the spiritual. Some in the spiritual also from karma to jnana, somebody is shifting. From jnana to bhakti, somebody is elevating. Within bhakti, somebody is traveling from shraddha to somebody is at sadhu sangha, somebody is at bhajana kriya, like that. We have seen last time that at every stage the real shreyas is offered by the Sankirtana moonlight. No, we have seen all the stages last week. So here the Lord tells that various people consider various things as Shreya because they are at various levels in their path, on their spiritual path, and also because of the variations in their intelligence and understanding. Let's read this verse. Manmaya mohita diyaha purusha purusharshabha shreyo vadan anakantam yata karma yata ruchi. So depending upon one's intelligence, various people are quoting various things as Shreya. Let me read the translation. Anmaya mohitadiya purusha purusharshaba shreyo vadanchane kantam yata karma yata ruchio. Best among men, the intelligence of human beings is bewildered by my illusory potency. Manmaya mohitadiya. Intelligence bewildered by my maya. Manmaya mohitadiya. And thus, according to their own activities and whims, yata karma yata ruchi. Purusha Purusharshaba Shreyo Vadant Anekantam. They speak in innumerable ways about what is actually good for people. Some people are telling this is good, some people are telling that is good. That is because they're all deluded by Lord's Maya. But we also see that the Lord is also telling about various kinds of Shreyas in various places. So, how do we understand this? When the Lord is speaking about various kinds of Shreyas, it is not that He is deluded by Maya. It is that He is catering to people at different level. When a living entity, when people are telling about various kinds of Shreyas, it is their delusion due to the Lord's Maya. But when the Lord is telling the same thing, it is because it is His causeless mercy, it is His love, it is His kindness that He wants to cater to different kinds of people. So, Krishna is telling karma as Shreya. We see he's talking to Nanda Maharaj. He's talking to Nanda Maharaj. He wants to stop Indra Puja. So at that time, Krishna actually talks the Karma Mimamsa philosophy. Karmana jayate jantuhu. Why should we actually do this Indra Puja? It is just because of one's karma, one attains what they want. He's actually not advocating Karma Mimamsa philosophy. There, Krishna's intention is only to irritate Indra. So Jiva Goswami says that we should not take Krishna's Karma Mimamsa preaching seriously. There he only wants to irritate Indra and get the Vrajavasis to do Govardhan Puja and help Indra come out of his garva. So Bhagavad Gita also Krishna is speaking of different kinds of shreyas. In some places he's telling karma is Shreya. See, Bhagavad Gita 3:11, he says, Devan bhavayata anena te deva bhavayantuah. In that verse, he says, Shreyam param avapsyatu. You worship the devatas, they will give you the rains. In this way, both should both work in Sahyoga, in cooperation, and in this way, both will be benefited. So, why is Krishna calling karma as Shreya? When Krishna is calling anything other than bhakti as Shreya, we understand that he is catering to the different levels of people. When Bhagavan is giving different levels of Shreya, it is not a delusion. It is actually his catering to different levels of people. See, though Bhagavan may call karma as Shreya, we Vaishnavas, we listen more to our gurus, to our acharyas. Not to even more than Bhagavan, we consider the instructions of our acharyas as more important. They are very merciful. They know that we are suffering only because of our lack of Krishna consciousness, because of our lack of Shraddha in Krishna consciousness. See, Sanatan Goswami's Pranama mantra, such profound mantra. वैराग्ययुग्भक्तिरसं प्रयत्नैरपाययन्मामनभीप्सु मन्दं कृपाम्बुदिर्यः परदुःखदुःखी सनातनं तं प्रभुमाश्रयामि. I take shelter of that Sanatan Goswami, who is Paradukka Dukki. So he is seeing that I am Dukki. Why am I Dukki? Because I am Manda and I don't want to drink the juice of Bhakti which is filled with Vairagya. So Sanatana Goswami, because he is Paradukka Dukki, Apayanma Manabhipsumanam, with so much of effort, with Prayatna, he has made me forcefully drink that Bhakti Rasa. Though we are not interested. Krishna is saying, okay, if you are at karma, you do karma. You're at jnana, you do jnana. Whatever level you are, you slowly come back. But acharyas will not leave you like that. They want you to do bhakti. They want you to get to the highest shreyas and quickly attain the Supreme Lord. So the Vaishnavas are always listening to our gurus, and gurus do not quote our acharyas, our spiritual masters. They are not quoting karma as the highest shreya. Karma actually is not a perfect platform to attain any shreya. It's only a stepping stone to go to the platform of jnana. That is what is told. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur in his Madhurya Kadamini, first Vrishti, Vrishti shower. Madhurya Kadamini is a cloud bank, no? And then each chapter he calls it a Vrishti, one shower. So he says that the path of karma is very, very difficult. And he is explaining how it is difficult. Karma yogasya tad abhutatve maha anarthakaritvam. Why is this path of karma very difficult? Because if there is some discrepancy, something we have to karma yoga means it has all rituals. No, pehle do this, then after this you do this. First of all, there is time, play. You cannot do a fire sacrifice at midnight, 12 o'clock. There's time, place, circumstance, and then you need a proper time. Today should not be Ashtami, today should not be Amavasya, and then there shouldn't be any contamination of birth, death in the family. And then the astrological, this thing should be like this lagna should be there. So many things are there. And after doing all that also, what they say, Tadeva Lagnam Sudinam Tadeva Tara Balam Chandra Balam Tadeva Vidya Balam Deva Balam Tadeva Lakshmi Paterang. When you remember the Angri, the lotus feet of Lakshmi Pati, then everything becomes good. That means the karma yoga also becomes really auspicious only when the remembrance of the Lord is there. And remembrance happens only by Sankirtan. Somebody sings the Lord's names, you remember the Lord's names, you remember the Lord's forms. So Sankirtan is the one that is actually giving that auspicious nature even to the Karma Kanda. That is what our acharyas are explaining. So when they say that there are so many stringent rules related to time, place, you cannot do fire sacrifice everywhere and anywhere. It has to be this Vayuvya, Ishanya, so many are there. And if there is a discrepancy in any of these, then there's a great calamity. You intend to get some result. Sometimes there is a probability that the opposite result may come about. For that, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakura is quoting a sloka from Paniniya Siksha. See, Panini's grammar is very famous, Sanskrit grammar, and Siksha is the Vedanga, which talks about the pronunciation rules, how you have to pronounce certain things. In Vedic mantras, there are something called something you recite in a high pitch, that's called Udatta, and something you recite in a lower pitch, Anudatta, and something between Udatta and Anudatta in a medium pitch, that is called Swarita. So for every Vedic mantra, there are a series of syllables that form the words. Which syllable has to be uttered as Udatta? Which syllable has to be uttered as Anudatta? Which syllable has to be Swarita? It's all very, very hardwired. Okay, it's a very fixed thing. One has to utter it in those meters and pitches only to obtain the result intended. When we are reading the Bhagavata Purana, we read it in Ekaswara because it's a Purana. We read it in Ekaswara and we keep going. So it is very difficult to utter it correctly. So there is one example Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is quoting from the Paniniya Siksha. Mantrohina swarato varnato va mitya prayukto natamartamaha savag vajro yajamanam hinasti yetendra shatrush swarato paradhat. In the Bhagavatam, we know the story of a rishi called Twashta. Twashta had a son called Vishwarupa who was killed by Indra. So he is very angry that Indra killed Vishwarupa. So he wants to have a son who will kill Indra. So this Twashta is performing a sacrifice. He wants the Shatru of Indra to come and Vardha. And he wants the Shatru of Indra to prosper and cause Indra to kill. So what he did, he offered that oblation, and he is uttering this mantra: Indra Shatro Vivardhasva Machiram Jahi Vidvisham. These are the two lines he uttered. What's the translation? Oh Indra Shatro, flourish now. Vivardhasva, flourish now. Machiram Jahi Vidvisham, and kill your enemy without delay. Machiram, Chiram ante Chirakalam ante long. Machiram ante not very long. Without much delay, without much time, you kill your enemy. So he is telling Indra Shatru, may you prosper and kill your enemy. So this word Indra Shatru can have two meanings. Indra Shatru can mean Indra's killer or Indra who is the killer. So if while uttering Indra Shatru, one says Indra at a higher pitch, Indra Shatru, then it means that Indra who is the Shatru. If they say that Indra Shatru, that last syllable, if the last syllable is Udatta, then it means that Indra is who Indra will kill. The first one is if the last syllable is high, Indra will be killed. If the first syllable is high, Indra will kill. So his intended meaning is Indra has to be killed, but when he did the Ucharana, he did in such a way that that Indra will kill. So he wanted his son to go kill Indra, but he himself uttered the mantra saying that Indra will kill his son. So such a disaster happened. Vritrasura was born. He was so powerful, but then he died at the hands of Indra. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura is quoting this. See, in Karma Kanda, such things can happen. Anything little mistake you utter, then everything will go for a toss. And the Viparita Falita can be obtained just because of a simple error in pronunciation of one vowel. Not even mistake of vowel, mistake in the vowel's pitch. Opposite result came about. And so this Vedic mantras and this path of karma is very, very difficult. So that is why the Vaishnavacharyas are not recommending it for the devotees. It is in no way Shreya. It is very, very tough. See, actually, in South India and maybe in North India also, there are many Brahmanas who actually teach the pitches properly and how to recite and all this. So, but for that also a certain birth is required. Only people who are born in Brahmin families, from very young age, they have somebody to train them and all, then they can learn all this. Vaishnavas, even Vaishnavas who are Brahmanas, who are Brahminical, they don't want to learn all this. Why? Because their purpose of life is to do seva to Bhagavan, not to learn the Vedic meters. So for in the context of devotees, karma is anyway not shreyas, because first thing is it is very difficult, and second thing is you have to do so many things that are not the goal of a devotee's life. So the Vaishnavacharyas explain that though Krishna is recommending karma as a shreyas for certain level of people, we as your acharyas, we are not recommending karma as shreyas for you. That is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is actually concluding. So even though Vaishnava is a Brahmana, they don't engage on the difficult path of karma because that is not our goal of life. Our Acharyas say that Bhagavatam also may say that Shreyam Paramavapsyata, no, Shreyam Paramavapsyata, Bhagavad Gita may say, Bhagavatam may say, Bhagavan is himself saying, but then it is very, very difficult. For this age, it is anyway not avoiding the highest. For this age, it is very, very difficult, super difficult. So, karma as Shreya is not in our syllabus. That is the conclusion. Then what about Jnana? Jnana is a fixed path for Shreya. That is what we discussed. No, last week when we discussed, karma is a stepping stone to Jnana. Sarvam karma akilam partha jnane parisamapyate. So Jnana as Shreya can be considered because Jnana will help us attain liberation. Liberation is sure Shreya. So Jnana as a stepping stone to Shreya. Can we see Jnana as Shreya? So that is the discussion because the Lord wants to cater to all people. So he is in Bhagavad Gita in 4:33. He is telling Jnana is also Shreyas. Shreyan dravyamaya adyajna jnana yajna parantapa sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. So Sridhar Swami is explaining this that once jnana is attained, one obtains all that a person doing karma kanda obtains. So whatever a karma kandi does and attains results, all those can be obtained by one as soon as one comes to the platform of jnana. So he quotes the Chandogya Upanishad for this. Sarvam tat abhishameti yat kinchit praja sadhu kurvanti. The jnana yogi gets everything that people get by doing karma. And he also gets something more. He gets that impersonal Brahman realization. No? So definitely it is a greater shreyas than Karma Yoga. So for people who are on Jnana platform, they definitely are better than Karma Yogis. Karma Yoga, our acharyas removed from the syllabus. Jnana Yoga is still in syllabus and they are further discussing. Jnana Yogi who can still keep up the respect for Bhakti Yogi. Jnana Yogi who still includes Sankirtan Yagya in his Jnana Yoga on the platform of Jnana Yoga. Then Jnana Yoga can still be in the syllabus. That is what they're telling. So, and mantratas tantratas chidram desha kalarha vastutah sarvam karoti nischidram anusankirtanam tava. So and these karma kandis are doing various kinds of yagyas. These yagyas are also getting perfection. See, anything has to become shreyas means it should have sankirtanam. That is the point Prabhuji is trying to explain. So if some mantra is missing, some tantra is missing, and then desha kala vastu something, some discrepancy is there, that will become nishchidram only by anusankirtanam tava. Sankirtan, see, if karma is shreya for some level of people, Sankirtana is the Shreya for karma. Karma will protect people to some extent. But what will protect that karma is Anusankirtanam. Whenever there is glories of the Lord done, whenever there is remembrance of the Lord, only then that karma can also in some way be Shreya. If there is no Anusankirtanam, if there is no Sankirtan of the Lord, if there is no Bhakti, then karma or jnana also, they cannot be put under shreya. That is what he told. So Sankirtana is the shreya for karma. It is Sankirtana that is giving auspiciousness to karma. ఆది నుండి సంధ్యాది విధులలో వేదం బైనది విష్ణు కథ. Even the Brahmanas who chanted Gayatris and then other mantras and all those things, at the end of their Sandhya Vandana, they did the Nama Japa. Achyutananta Govinda, Keshava Narayana Madhava. When they're offering Pitrus with for everything, there is a definite rule that one has to do Sankirtana. So even in the other processes also, for the process to become Shreya, it should have Sankirtanam. That is what Prabhuji is quoting. And then we have seen Karma Ashreya out of syllabus, Jnana Ashreya in syllabus, only if Sankirtanam is there. Karma also considered, though out of syllabus, it is still considered Shreya only if there is Sankirtanam in it. And then Prabhuji is discussing Yoga Ashreya. So Yoga Ashreya, he is again quoting from 6th chapter verse. Tapasvibhyadiko yogi jnanibhyopi matodikah So a Jnana yogi, the one who is doing Ashtanga yoga, no? He is greater than the ascetics and the Jnani. Okay, so and the Bhagavatam, Bhagavan is giving these different levels of Shreyas to accommodate different people. We should always remember that. So, and then not only Krishna, but other people also, various people are telling various things as Shreya. So, then we will actually look at one verse, 11, 14, 10. So, I will share this. We can read this. 11, 14, 10. Yes, share. धर्ममेके यशश्चान्ये कामं सत्यं दमं शमम् अन्ये वदन्ति स्वार्थं वा ऐश्वर्यं त्यागभोजनं केचिद्यज्ञं तपोदानं व्रतानि नियमान्यमान्. Some say that people will be happy by performing pious religious activities. Others say that happiness is attained through fame, sense gratification, truthfulness, self control, peace, self interest, political influence, opulence, renunciation, consumption, sacrifice, penance, charity, vows, regular duties, or strict disciplinary regulation. Each process has its proponents. So but some people say this is the sense gratification is Shreya. Some people say Satya is the Shreya. Some people say Dhamma is Shreya. Some people say disciplinary regulation, Niyama is the Shreya. Some say Dhanam is the Shreya. Some say Vrata is the Shreya. So different people say it, and each of these has proponents. The people of Kama Shastra say something is Shreya. The people of Dharma Shastra says something is Shreya. Like that, various people say various things as Shreya. This is the verse beginning with Dharma Meke. So, some followers of the Purva Mimamsa, they are proclaiming karma to be Shreya. And some connoisseurs of literature proclaim fame, Yashaha, as Shreya. And some acharyas are, some
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, net
Mataji, is it something
difficulty.
that I'm unable? Okay, caller.
No. Even we are unable to hear.
Okay.
I think it got
Thank
disconnected. She'll join back. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, am I audible? Suddenly power went off.
Yeah,
Yes, now
now
you're
audible,
audible,
Mataji.
Mataji.
I think last couple minutes it froze.
Okay. I was just reading the translation of that verse. Um, one second. And then those who are attached to karma kanda proclaim yajna, tapa, charity, etc. to be shreya. So these various people are telling various things as shreya. But what is actually Bhagavan's conclusion on shreya? In Uddhava Gita 11, 14, 22, the Lord is telling dharma satya dayopeto vidyava tapasanvita madbhaktyaapatam atmanam na samyak prapnotihi. All Shreya is incomplete without bhakti. He's telling all Shreya is incomplete without bhakti because they don't lead to the transcendental world. Unless bhakti becomes with them, only then these other things are becoming Shreya. So that means it is bhakti, that too, especially Sankirtanam in the bhakti, Sankirtanam aspect of the bhakti is what is actually giving the other things also its nature of Shreya. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pratishtam atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva yogi param snanam upaiti chant. One who takes to the path of bhakti, he can attain the Shreyas obtained by all other methods also and more. That is what is also the Lord is telling different kinds of Shreya, but the Lord's conclusion is also that only by bhakti can living a highest Shreya. In Jiva Goswami is telling that a jnani, he becomes a Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means while in the body, he understands that he is not the body. If somebody gets the knowledge that he is not the body while in the body, he is considered a Jivan Mukta. So even a Jivan Mukta, this Jivan Mukti also is a temp. We when we discuss first the term Shreya, we discuss what is called as Shreya and Preya. Preya is temporary Shubha, and Shreya is permanent. Shubha. So liberation is actually considered as Shreya because it's a permanent Shubha. But he says that these Jivan Muktas, actually they Jivan Mukta api Punarbandhanam. Punarbandhanam happens to them because if an impulse list, once he becomes an impulse list, in the impulse list platform also, if he is a Jivan Mukta also, if he is not having regard for the process of bhakti, if he is not having respect for the name, fame, form, qualities of the Lord, what happens is people in Brahmajyoti, they get bored and they come back. They're bound in Sattvaguna and they want to do some philanthropic activities. So to do philanthropic activities, what they do, I want to build this hospital or I want to do this project. For that, you then collect donations and then make the interaction. No, actually, they're actually falling back to karma. From karma, they rose to jnana, they attained the perfection in jnana, then aham brahmasmi, brahmeva aham, whatever was their notion, they gave up all dualities, they went to Brahman. But because when there is no regard for bhakti and for the form of the Lord and for the names of the Lord, that is when these people are actually coming back and again indulging in karma. So again they have to go through the karma, then attain jnana, from jnana again impulse. Again they will stop at impulse, come back and entangle in karma if they don't rise from there. But those who come back to do philanthropic, they end up again in the jnana cycle. So only uh, those Jivan Muktas, the Gyanis, successful Gyanis, who can keep up the respect for the devotional service, then they attain a Siddha Deha. And then in that Siddha Deha, they serve the Supreme Lord, and that that Paramsthan, that Gyaneshu, along with Veda, Yajna, all these, they will get that Paramasthanam only if they keep up the regard for devotional service. That is what Jiva Goswami is explaining in Bhakti Sandarbha. Then all other Shreyas also lead to Bhakti. See, different things are Shreya, but they all are stepping stones leading to the ultimate Shreya called service to the Supreme Lord. So 10:47:24. This is a conversation between Uddhava and the gopis. Uddhava, the gopis are actually, they are glorifying Uddhava, telling the was a great personality. You have all the Shreya, you are Jnana, all these things. They are actually glorifying him. But then Uddhava says that, oh Gopi, you already have the highest Shreya. This Veda, Jnana, Tapa, all these should actually lead to Sri Krishna Prema. Sri Krishna Bhakti. You already have that. You are all already crying for Krishna. So you already have the highest Shreya. That is what Uddhava is telling to the gopis. दानव्रत तपोहोम जप स्वाध्याय संयमैः श्रेयोभिर्विविधैश्चान्यैः कृष्णे भक्तिर्हि साध्यते थ्रू वेराइटीज ऑफ श्रेय that is dana, charity, swadhyaya, vows, samyamai, austerity, shreyoभिर्विविधैश्चान्य, many things you can get, but krishne bhaktirhi sadhyate, all these will be will have to lead to will lead ultimate attainment of bhakti. Krishna bhaktir hi sadhyate. And this, oh gopis, you already have. That is what Uddhava is telling. So, Bhagavan is giving different levels of Shreya, and he is himself concluding that all Shreya actually culminate in Bhakti. So, we are going to read three verses from Uddhava Gita, 11, 20, 31 to 33. 1 second. 11, 20, 31 to 33. 11, 20. तस्मान् मद्भक्तियुक्तस्य योगिनो वै मदात्मनः न ज्ञानं न च वैराग्यं प्रायश्रेयो भवेदिह. Therefore, for a devotee engaged in my loving service, not is generally not the means of achieving the highest perfection within this world. Then Krishna is explaining to Uddhava, everything that can be achieved by fruitive activities, this is same like the Vedeshu Yagyeshu verse. Everything that can be achieved by fruitive activities, penance, knowledge, detachment, mystic yoga, charity, religious duty, and all other means of perfecting life is easily achieved by my devotee through loving service unto me. If somehow or other my devotee desires promotion to heaven, liberation, or residence in my abode, he easily achieves such a benediction. So, all Shreya can culminate in bhakti. Suppose what does a karma kandi achieve? What is the result of a karma kandi? He will go to heavenly planets. Can somebody not achieve heaven just by karma kanda? They can, because Maharaj Chitraketu, we see he only did devotional service. He saw Lord Sankarsana, and then he was actually next what he was seen doing. He was doing Sankirtan with the heavenly woman. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji,
Mataji,
audible.
audible, Mataji.
And then
Everybody else, please mute. Mataji, please mute.
I can mute them, I think. 1 second.
I'll do it, Mataji. You continue.
And then karma gives us heavenly planets. Bhakti can also give that. Jnana will give liberation, Brahma Jyoti. And then actually we can achieve that also through Bhakti. Actually, Prabhuji was giving the example of one personality called Ramadas Vishwas from Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was actually a devotee, but he finally wanted to merge into impersonal Brahman. That is possible through bhakti. Whatever can be attained through karma and jnana can also be attained. Mad bhakto labate anjase. Everything can be attained through devotional service. And Jiva Goswami is telling that the highest shreyas the highest method is bhakti yoga. And the highest shreyas in all shastras is also bhakti. He's quoting something from Linga Purana. He's saying, Alodya Sarva Shastrani, Vicharya cha punah punah, idamekam sunishpannam, dhyeyo narayana sada. So all scriptures have bhakti. all scriptures, all religions, all scriptures means across religions. Suppose we take Prabhuji was explaining with the example of Christianity. In Christianity, we don't have anything like rebirth, karma, going to Swarga, coming back, and next lifetime, previous lifetime. All these things are not there. In many in many religions, we don't see this aspect of karma kanda, jnana, fire sacrifice, place to do, and all that. But in every single religion of the world and in every single scripture of the world, we see the aspects of bhakti yoga. Everybody is saying prayers, everybody is uttering prayers, everybody is asking from relief from distress, and everybody is glorifying the Lord's nama or rupa or guna or whatever, seeking help, glorifying the Lord, seeking help. So this is actually an aspect of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is present in all the scriptures of the world, irrespective of Vedic, non-Vedic, Indian, non-Indian, Sanatana, non-Sanatana. So that is the superiority and all pervading nature of Sankirtana, Prabhuji was telling. So it is the highest Shreyas whenever Sarva Shastreshu Drishyate. And then it is the highest Shreyas for all species of life. See, if as humans we can do Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Ashtanga Yoga, Pranayama, Asana, everything. Can an insect, can a reptile, can a bird, or an animal, they cannot do Karma Kanda or they cannot do Jnana Kanda or Ashtanga Yoga and all that. But they all can perform Bhakti Yoga. See, many times we see these gopis are teaching parrots, and we hear about one woman. My mother used to tell me one shloka. One girl, she bought a parrot, and she named that parrot as Sri Rama. And she called the parrot Sri Rama, Sri Rama, Sri Rama, and she attained liberation. Like that. So in some way, the parrot had become an instrument as a prop for her devotional service. So the Lord must have blessed that parrot also. And we see in Govinda Damodara Stotra, gopis are teaching the parrots to say Govinda Damodara Madhava. Kachit karamboja pute nishannam krida sukam kinshuka rakta tundam. Adhyapayamasa saroruhakshi Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So the parrots are telling Rama, Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Govinda, Damodara, Madhava, Ananda, Kanda, Vrajachandra, Krishna in Skaladgiram and beautiful. So even the birds also, they all can take prasadam. Then they all can dance to Sankirtan. They can shake their heads. We see so many places, no? When there is class is going on, some dog is coming and sitting, or some monkey is coming and hearing, doing bhajan. So in all species can perform Bhakti Yoga. But the Jnana, Karma, and Ashtanga Yoga, these can be performed only by humans. Across all Shastras, Bhakti Yoga reigns. Across all species, for as highest Shreyas for all species, Bhakti Yoga reigns. And especially Sankirtan is reigning above all. Rajate Sakalopari. It is reigning. Reigning means R-A-I-N-I-N-G. No. R-E-I-G-H-N-I-N-G. REIGNING. ఏలుతోంది, రాజిల్లుతోంది అలా అనమాట. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఫర్ ద మోస్ట్ సిన్ఫుల్ ఆల్సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద హైయెస్ట్ శ్రేయస్. వీ హ్యావ్ ద ఫేమస్ వర్స్ అపిచేత్ సుదురాచారో భజతే మాం అనన్యభా సాధురేవ సమంతవ్య సమ్యక్ వ్యవసితో హి సహ. సి ఇన్ దట్ the word is bhajate mam ananyabhag. Bhajana is indicating to Sankirtana. Bhajana is indicating to Bhakta. Bhajana doesn't mean doing yajna. Bhajana doesn't mean doing tapasya. Bhajana doesn't mean doing Ashtanga Yoga. Bhajana means singing the glories of the Lord, remembering the glories of the Lord, hearing the glories of the light. So Bhajana is indicating Sankirtana. So even the most sinful, a prisoner is there. He's been actually vindicted, and tomorrow they're going to hang him. Can he do karma kanda, jnana kanda? What kanda he can do? The only thing he can do is hear the glories of the Lord, sing the glories of the Lord, remember the glories of the Lord. So the most sinful person also, the only shreyas for him can be awarded by Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Bhakti alone can award that. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Why it is all glorious, all victorious? Because in any whatever is the level of sinful, we are how dumped we are into sins also. This is the only option for anybody. So it is the highest shreya for the most sinful also. Okay, for the most sinful, that is the shreya. Even for the elevated, somebody who's already liberated, For liberated people also, the highest Shreya is through. Hare Krishna. Hopefully it won't break. Sorry, we are in a village. The power is very gajbiji. I should forgive me for that. There is a verse which says, internet is unstable now. Mm. There's a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 9:467. It says that mat sevaya patitam te salokyadi chatushtayam pratitam te salokyadi chatushtayam nechanti sevaya purnaha kutonyat kala viplutam. My devotees who are always satisfied to be engaged in my loving service, you are not interested in the four principles of liberation. So devotees don't want even liberation. Salokya, Samipya, mm, Sarstri, and Sarupya. These four, when they perform devotional service, they automatically attain this. So they separately do not desire for all these. What then is to say of such perishable happiness in the higher planetary systems? So devotional service is the higher Shreya. So liberation also they are moksha lagutakrit, no? So even for somebody in liberated state, somebody who is very sinful, the Paramashreya is Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Somebody who is in a liberated state also, the Paramashreya is Sri Krishna Sankirtanam only. Even for impulseless, so impulseless also actually want to Bhagavad Bhajana. The highest Shreya in Ayodhya is also Bhagavad Bhajana. How can you say this? Actually, then Jiva Goswami is quoting Adi Shankara's commentary to Nrisimha Tapani Upanishad. Even the Muktas also actually want to do Bhagavad Bhajana. It is so attractive. That is what is actually Shreyas for them. Mukta api leelaya Vigraham Kritva Bhagavantam Bhajante. These are the words of Sri Adi Shankara himself. So this is Adi Shankaracharya's commentary on the Nrisimha Tapani Upanishad, which is quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Jiva Goswami is quoting here. So even a liberated soul merged in the personal Brahman effulgence is attracted to the pastimes of Bhagavan. So thus the soul takes upon a form and renders service unto the Lord. So Adi Shankara, the impulsive stopper, no, he is impulsivism mayavada means we remember Adi Shankara. He is telling that even in Sayujya, the devotional service of the Lord is so attractive, the pastimes of the Lord are so attractive that the soul takes a form again to perform devotional service. That is what is told here. Mukta api leelaya vigraham kritva bhagavantam bhajante. Even the liberated take up a form. Why they take up a form? Because they want to serve the Supreme Lord in particular rasa. So for in the lowest stage of life, Bhakti is the Param Shreyas, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is the Param Shreyas. In what is considered apparently the highest stage, liberation, Salukya, Samipya, Sarupya, Salokya also, the devotee is choosing Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. And then even in Sayujja, Shankara says that the soul is attracted to the glories of the Lord and he takes a shape just to serve the Supreme Lord. So everywhere what they're trying to indicate is the final Shreyas is in a Siddha Deha, you want to perform devotional service. That is the Shreyas. And that Shreyas is along with all other Shreyas is awarded by Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. That is what they're trying to prove. So in highest in all activities, whatever activity you do, the act karma apyekam tasya devasya seva yat karoshi yad ashnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So whenever we are doing some activity, we have to offer it to the Lord. You offer the activity or you offer the result of the activity to the Lord. How do we do that? Suppose we do a sacrifice. Keshavaya idam namama. Keshavaya idam. This is for Keshava. Na idam mama. This is not for me. Na mama, not mine. For Keshava, this is for Keshava. Govindaya idam na mama. Narsimhaya idam na mama. Na mama means this is not mine. This is for the Lord's. By uttering the Lord's names, you are offering your activity and the result to the Lord. So Prabhuji is explaining that the highest activity also is Sri Krishna Sankirtanam only. Every activity becomes the highest only when in conjunction with Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So, from at the lowest place, Shreyasi Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Shreyasi is Bhakti, that is that lily opens by the moonlight diffusion of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. And then, if you are in the highest platform, liberation, even then the Shreyas lily blooms only through Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. And then, if you are doing karma, every karma becomes offered to the Lord only by Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So the presence of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is actually what is making anything as Shreya. That is what they're trying to tell. Govindaya idam namama, like that. So highest Shreya in all yugas, across yugas also. Kriteya dhyayato Vishnum tretayam yajato makhai dvaparyat paracharyayat kalau tad harikirtanat. So out of all these also Sankirtana is actually rain. Suppose somebody has to do dhyana. If I have to meditate on somebody, first I should know about that somebody. I should hear about that somebody, only then I will know and I will meditate. To do dhyana also, they must have initially done Sankirtana and then they are doing dhyana. Then Tretayam Yajato Makai, for the Yagyas, Yagas also we just now discussed. We are offering something to the Lord. That means we are telling this is for Keshava, not for me. This is for the Yagya Purusha, not for me. So while doing all this also Sankirtana is there. Without the element of Sankirtana, the Treta Yogis couldn't have done Makha and Yagya and all those. And then for Vigraha Aradhana, Dwaparya Paricharya. You know the glories of the Lord, you are hearing the glories of the Lord, you are singing the glories of the Lord. That is when you are able to worship the glories of the Lord. If somebody didn't tell you, Tribanga Bangima Arupam Venu Rangakaranchitam. So when we make the deity, how the Tribanga form is coming? How are we decorating him with the flute? How are we dressing him in Pitambara? How is it that in temples we are putting a Maukrika below his this thing? Because we are hearing. Only by somebody is doing Sankirtana, you hear the Sankirtana, then you dress the deity accordingly. And then you hear that Gosha Kutira Payo Grita Choram. Oh, he's going and stealing Payo and Grita. So he likes Paya and Grita. So I will offer Paya and Grita. So for meditation, for Yagyas and Yagas, and for deity worship, for these to be performed, there should have been a Sankirtan, a Shravanam. That Shravanam will happen only when there is Kirtanam. A Sankirtanam was there as a prelude to these three. And in Kali Yuga, it is Sankirtanam itself that is the very essence of achieving perfection. So for all these, for the highest Shreya for all yugas has always been Sankirtan. But in Sankirtan was the Upadana Karana in the previous yugas. But in Kali Yuga, it is both the Upadana and also the Nimitta. It is the material and it is also the Chodaka that is leading to the highest Shreyas. Sankirtan is the moonlight diffusion. So highest Shreya in all stages of life also. For example, somebody is in the womb. Can he do anything else? Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Pranayama, Ashtanga Yoga? No. But Bhakti, they can do. Prahlada did it from the womb. We have an example. And then while from womb to tomb, they say, no, this can be done. So in Garbha, Prahlada is doing. In Balya, Dhruva has done. And in Yavana, Ambarisha did. In Vardhakya, Jiva Goswami is actually quoting Dhritarashtra, but they say Dhritarashtra did some um, um, Ashtanga Yoga, something like that in some places I read. But we see that many people in old age, it is easier to do Bhakti Yoga alone than the other processes of devotional service. And then in Marane, while dying also, we see Katvanga and then Ajamila, they all have performed Bhakti Yoga. Even after death also, Chitraketu, after death also in Swarga, he is doing Nama Sankirtana. So in Garbha, in Balya, Yavana, Vardhakya, Marana, and even after death, and in hell also, see, there is an incident that is described. All the Narakavasis, Janaka Maharaja once visit them. and he's Paramadhu, he's Mahajana, he's going and preaching there. And with the encouragement of Janaka Maharaja, all these Narakavasis, no, they are doing a Sankirtan, and then they are attaining higher places, higher positions. So in all stages of life, so at the highest Shreya, whether you are in Garbha, whether you are born, you are Balya, Yavana, and then Vardak, whatever is the stage of life, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is what will give you the highest Shreyas. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is the moonlight, that is whatever is the lily you want at that time, that blossoms by Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. That is what Jiva Goswami is trying to explain here. So Sankirtana is the best type of bhajana. It is the best type of Shreya. So that the Chandrika Vitaranam, Sri Krishna Sankirtana Chandrika Vitaranam, all small lilies are blossomed. What you get by karma, what you get by jnana, what you get by ashtanga, dana, tapa, so many Shreyas. Today maybe around 20 things we have read, we have seen as Shreya. All these small lilies also anyway blossom by Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. But the most important big lily of Sri Krishna Prema, that also blooms by Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. There is one verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, we will read finally. 1 second. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 470-71. Antya 4.70 and 71, 2 verses. Bhajanera Madhye Shreshta Navavida Bhakti. Krishna Prema Krishna Dite Dhare Mahashakti. Tara Madhye Sarvashreshta Nama Sankirtana. Niraparade Nama Laile Paya Prema Dana. Among the ways of executing devotional service, the 9 prescribed methods are the best. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani, Vedanam. Out of all these also, among all the ways of executing devotional service, the 9 prescribed methods are the best. For of all these processes, these processes have the great potency to deliver Krishna and ecstatic love of him. Of the 9 processes, the most important is Nama Sankirtana. If one does so, avoiding the 10 kinds of offenses, one very easily obtains the most valuable love of Godhead. Niraparade Nama Laile Paya Prema Dana. So out of all, so even Sankirtana is the best type of bhajana. So Sankirtana movement is the we have seen that bhakti is the best Shreya, and to achieve that bhakti, to achieve bhakti with the seva, to achieve Siddha Deha and serve Lord in the Siddha Deha also, Sankirtana is the best type of bhajana. Sankirtana will avoid you Krishna Prema Dhana. That is what is told in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. The Shreya Kairava, whatever is the Shreyas, whatever is your definition of Shreya, that Kairava, that Kumuda, that water lily will bloom by the moonlight diffusion of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, Krishna Chandra is the moon, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is the moonlight. That the diffusion of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, moonlight of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam causes the blossoming of every single lily, whatever you call it as Shreya. But our Acharya stress that real Shreya, the real water lily you want to bloom is Bhakti Yuta Seva in the Siddha Deha to the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. Here Prabhuji is ending his discussion on Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. Next week we will move forward to the next flame, the next characteristic of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, Vidyavadu Jivanam. Hare Krishna. Matajis can add something, correct me if I've missed something. And I know it is too much of technical detail, but I thought it is important also to know what is not Shreya, so that we really remember what is our real Shreya. That is the reason Jiva Goswami is discussing so much on this. So even if we don't remember anything, we will at least remember there are so many things that we may think it is Shreya, but then it is mercy of Prabhupada that we have a clarity that all we want is devotional service. Why is there so much discussion on what is not Shreya, what is not Shreya? That was what was going on in my mind. That is the general view. It is, if we are having the clarity that devotional service is our Shreya, it is because Prabhupada has actually nicely put it into our head. He drove the point home through his Bhakti Vedanta purports. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all our wonderful acharyas. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. आनन्दलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमाभ दिव्यच्च विसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते. Hare Krishna. Mangabataji, maybe you can stop the recording.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So much
Mataji,
to talk